This video is to show a couple of features that will help support effective instruction within Google Classroom. So you can see here that I'm already logged into my Google Classroom. And something I want to call note to are these three buttons up here at the top, the to do, the to review, and the calendar. So as a teacher, one thing that is overwhelming sometimes is when you have a lot of classes. So if you look at the to review button, this puts all of the material and all of the things that you have from multiple classes in one spot. So I can click here and say classes, and I can organize by a specific class. I can just go right down the list to see, or I can look at all of my classes at once. I can see what's been turned in, what's assigned, what's been graded. And these are all works in progress. So this one I can say, I can mark it as reviewed, and it's now no longer in my work to be done. It's stuff that's already completed. So that's a nice feature, and it helps being able to get things in and look at things in one spot. As a student, I'm going to go back to my home. I'm going to pull it a student view. So this is me in a student view. I know it's a student view because I have a different avatar here. I can see my teacher's picture here in the classroom tile. And if I look here, I don't have a to review because I'm not a teacher in this instance. I am just a student. So if I click to do, I can click right here and I see all of these things that I have to get done. As a student, I can click on assigned. These are the things that have been assigned to me. These are the things that are missing. These are the things that I've turned in that are done. And it has my grades right here. So these things up here, if I click on missing, one thing to note, for a student, an assignment will not show up as missing unless you have assigned a due date to it. So I see all of these things in assigned. Notice I have a number here, 43. I could view all, and this has all of my classes, not just one class, it's all of them. But these all have no due date. So if I want to make sure that my students see it as missing or see it as something that's been assigned with a specific due date, I need to make sure I do that when I set up the class and when I set up the assignment. I can also click here and say, okay, here are the things that I have done, which is a nice feature for students to be able to say, hey, look, I've turned all these things in. So I'm going to go back to my teacher account. And again, the to-do is for students only. I've got a couple of student classes in this account, so that's why I have a to-do there. I have the to review, which is just for teachers. So I'm going to click here in my Google Classroom practice. Another feature that is really important that helps with that effective instruction and making sure that students know what's coming up is this upcoming work due soon. This is all stuff that will only show up, again, if you have assigned a due date to it. I'm going to click on classwork. And it looks like we're having a little bit of trouble there. There we go. Back to classwork. Here we go. So here is my classwork section. Something that can help with effective instruction is really focusing on this create button and this question piece. This question piece is something that doesn't get used as often and in classes as I would like to. So this question can be for a number of different purposes. What is your plan for the weekend? It can be a short answer. I can add things into this. It can be a short answer or multiple choice. But what's really nice is that this is able to show us and let us ask students questions and start that dialogue process that is a part of effective instruction. So students can answer this and start that dialogue and that discussion. We can also ask another one where it's something that's related to the lesson. What questions do you have about photosynthesis? Let's say we're doing a science lesson and my synchronous learning time has been on photosynthesis. I can ask a question. So we've got some formative assessment there too. And I can also schedule it just like I can schedule any other assignment. So again, just another feature to help with adding some effective instruction pieces.